my name is KushiKush, and this video is going to be on a budget Dark Magician deck with a twist. We're running a small spellcaster engine, mainly SpellBooks. So for this deck, you're going to need 3 copies of Vortex of Magic. That's 1,500 gems. You get a bunch of really good cards. You're just going to need multiple copies. You're going to need 3 of, so you need to buy 3. The other deck that I'm going to be using in this build is Spellbook of Prophecy. You're also going to need 3 of these as well, simply because it comes with very powerful cards like Spellbook of Secrets, along with a draw card which really does help the Dark Magicians a lot, Spellbook of Knowledge. And there's a link too that's thrown in, and a rank 7. So going over here to deck, we're going to click on our extreme free-to-play Vortex of Magic structure deck mashup, aka Dark Magicians. The cards that aren't already included in the Dark Magician structure deck are going to be the Spellbook cards along with some one-ofs, which are bundle deals: Lightning Storm, Infinite Imperm, Solemn Judgment, Forbidden Droplet, and Ash Blossom. These are very powerful cards. Ash Blossom specifically can be used in almost virtually any single deck in the entire game. It just stops your opponent from doing something. It's kind of annoying. We're running it for that reason. Besides that, for the Dark Magician core, we're running 3 Dark Magician. I really like this card at 3. Yeah, it's a brick if it's in your opening hand, but you have ways to put it from your hand on the top of the deck, and then you can shuffle your deck, and it's just, I think it's a really good card. If anything, you can cut it down to 2, but 3 is perfect. Next up, we got Magician Souls. This is, if any, the reason you buy the structure deck. This card's insane, combined with the new ritual, which searches it out. It's just a really good card. You can special summon a Dark Magician literally from your deck just by discarding this card, or you can special summon this card and then like send spawn traps from your hand or field, draw cards. Cool card, very, very cool card. You want 3 of it. It's one of the most important cards. We only run 1 of the Magikuriboh, mainly because you only need 1. If you take damage, you send it from your hand to the graveyard. It's searchable in the deck. If it's in your graveyard and a magician is destroyed by battle card effect, which happens a lot, add it back from your graveyard to your hand. It's just forever there. It's always going to be, as long as you have 1 copy, you're always going to have 1 copy unless your opponent banishes it. Dimension Conjurer. You might not know what this does because it's a weird card. When it's normal or special, you can add this 1 card, Magical Dimension. It's this card right here. It used to be used in Dark Magician decks a long time ago. This card literally just adds it from your deck to your hand. Essentially, you can special summon 1 spellcaster from your hand, and then you can destroy 1 monster on the field. Very good. We only really need 2 because we have a lot of normal summons. Next up, Blue Boy. This is from the Spellbook. We're only running 1 copy because we just need 1. It's just normal summon, add a Spellbook. You're mainly going to be adding either Secrets or Knowledge. It's just, you only need 1. You don't need more. You can run more. You don't need to. All you need is 1. Next up, we got 3 Magician's Rods. This card's extremely important. It's really important because it searches you your Dark Magician spells. That's why we run it at max copies. We want to be able to get our engine going because Dark Magician, when it starts going, it really starts going. It's annoying. Next up, we got Ash Blossom. I explained a little bit earlier. It's a hand trap. Discard it, negate something your opponent does. Pretty good. You only need 1 Dark Magician girl. Do you need to run her? Yeah, you do. A lot of the cards I'm putting in this list utilize her, so you only need 1. Next up, 3 Illusion of Chaos. You need 3 of this. It searches your Dark Magician monsters. Very good. And it's a ritual and it works very well with the deck. For the spells, we got Raigeki, Board Clear, pretty strong, free to play. No Monster Reborn because we're running Spellbook of Secrets, 3 copies. It searches out Spellbook of Knowledge. We only run 2 copies of this. Spellbook of Knowledge is a draw more card. You can send a spellcaster you control or a spellbook in your hand and you just draw 2 cards. It's very good and it's easy to search in this deck. It has very good synergy. Lightning Storm is essentially Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster combined and had a baby, except Raigeki is a little bit weaker for some reason. It's very, very good. I recommend you running it if you have it. If you have multiple copies, bump it up. I really do like the card. Magician Salvation. You only need 1. It is important in the deck because it searches out one of the most powerful cards in the deck, Eternal Soul. Besides that, it works well with Dark Magician Girl. You can special summon her out. We run 2 Dark Magician Circle. This card's very important in deck. Very important. You can run 3, but I think 3 is too much. 2 I feel like is perfect number. It just like banishes a card during your opponent's turn or during your turn. It's super annoying. It's removal and it's continuous. It just stays. It's good. 1 Magical Dimension. Yeah, this is a brick, but you can also just put it on the top of your deck if you want. And it's searchable through Dimension Conjurer. 3 Soul Servant. It's a kind of like a weird add to your hand, except it's really slow. You can put a card on the top of your deck that has like Dark Magician in its text, and then you can banish this card from your graveyard. If you have a Dark Magician in your graveyard, draw cards equal to how many different Dark Magicians you have. It's pretty good. I mean, you need 3 of it. It's just kind of, you have to be a little smart with it. You have to understand how the card actually works in order to fully utilize it. Otherwise, you're just going to be banishing it from your graveyard and draw 1 card, which is fine, but it can do more things, you know? Next up, this is my favorite card in the entire deck. Secrets of the Dark Magician. It's literally a quick play fusion card or ritual card. Those are rare. And this does like, it's just, I've never seen a quick play ritual. I don't think that's not a trap. So this is a very cool card, and I'm glad it's only a normal and it comes in a structure deck. Besides that, Forbidden Droplets, it's a board wipe. Infinite Imperm, it's like if you have nothing on your field, you can just drop it during your opponent's turn and negate their monsters. Very good. Solemn Judgment is essentially a no. Your opponent can't do anything, and I like it a lot. Plus, it's a bundle card. You don't need to run it if you don't want to, but I'm running it just because it's a good card. Eternal Soul is weird. There's a lot of things that go into it. First of all, it's good because you can special summon a Dark Magician from your graveyard. It has another effect where you can search out a card. We're not running the card you can search out. You can if you want to. Like, say you don't want to run Judgment, you can run whatever card it searches out. That's up to you. But it has a bad effect. If this card, Eternal Soul, gets destroyed, all your monsters are gone. It's weird. It's like a double-sided blade because you can activate it and like get a bunch of things going. Then if it leaves, it takes everything with it. By that I mean your monsters. And the final card is going to be Magician's Combination. Magician's Combination is if you have a Dark Magician grow in your graveyard and Dark Magician, you can just Omni negate every single turn. I haven't really put it into practice yet, but I think in theory that it works really well with the deck. Besides that, the extra deck, Dark Magician Girl, you're not really going to make her. You're not really going to make this guy. You're going to make the Dark Magicians like every single time. It's really good. I make it all the time. You make Master of Chaos sometimes, and you do make Quintient Magician quite a bit. Is he the best card to make? No, but you do make him. 3 extra deck monsters that were included in the Spellbook structure deck are this card of Prophecy, the rank 7. He actually does work in the deck, which is weird, but it's cool. And this is the more important one, Crowley, the first Prophecyr. Use 2 spellcasters, you can search out a spellbook card from your deck, and then you can normal a level 5 or higher spellcaster monster without tributing. It's a cool card, it works with the deck. There are other cards you can run in the extra deck, because if I'm going to be honest, you only really need these cards in the extra deck. That's all you really need. You can even cut them down to 1. I would always keep Dark Magicians at least at like 2, because he is pretty good. But you can cut down everything else down to 1, and you have all that space in your extra deck for whatever you want. I'll jump into some replays and we'll see how the deck performs. This first replay is going to be against Dark Magician. So we're going to see what our opponent does, and then I'll show you what I do. Our opponent activates Dark Magician Circle. Let me speed this up. It adds him Chaos Form, and then he uses Soul Servant. So I didn't use Ash Blossom. I could have. I didn't need to. I didn't feel like I needed to use it on that necessarily. Also, Soul Servant, excuse my English, is a very weird card, like I explained in the deck profile. If you don't really know how to use it, you're just going to put a card on the top of your deck, which is kind of useless. You should only use it if you have a way to get Dark Magician in the graveyard. That way you can banish it from your graveyard and draw a card, and you can kind of add whatever you put on top of your deck, in a sense. First off, we're going to activate Secrets of Dark Magic. We're going to fusion summon our fusion monster, the Dark Magicians. Essentially what he does is if we activate any card effect, or if our opponent activates any card effect, we can chain this card, draw a card. Very good if we draw a spell that's quick play or a trap, we can set it and use it the same turn. Essentially that's the main thing. If it dies, it can special summon stuff, but mainly we're just using it for the draw effect. Magician's Rod, also when it's normal summoned, we can add a Dark Magician spell. I usually like to search out Dark Magician Circle, first card, mainly because Dark Magician Circle is better the more Dark Magician cards you have in your deck, because you only get to look at the top 3 cards and pick 1 Dark Magician card and add it to your hand. The less Dark Magician cards in your deck, the worse this card gets, so you kind of want to get it out of the way early, just so you don't go super neg. Besides that, we also have Magician's Salvation in our hand. This card's really powerful. It's probably the second most important search, just because it gets us our trap, and it also stays on the field. It's like a reoccurring thing. It's pretty cool. We're gonna set a Secrets of Dark Magic. Quick play, by the way, so during our opponent's turn, if we want to, if we need to, fusion summon. But yeah, we're just gonna go in for damage, and that's game. Let's go to the second replay. Alright, this is going to be the second replay. Our opening hand is not really that good. Double Magician's Rod, we can only use one of them, and we're going to search out Circle. Like I mentioned in the last duel, we want to use Circle first. We got Magician's Salvation, which is really good, because now we can kind of get our engine going. But if you might notice, we can only really do things if we have a Dark Magician in our graveyard. Lucky for us, Spellbook of Knowledge drew us a card, and voila, Illusion of Chaos is now in our hand. We can search out Magician's Souls. The most important search with Illusion of Chaos, mainly because this card just gets everything going. Send Dark Magician from the deck, special summon it. We could do a little more things. We're going to go into a Link 2. The reason I'm going into a Link 2 is because I want Dark Magician in the graveyard. We have a trap that can just special summon it whenever we want. Whenever we special summon a Dark Magician, we can destroy a card. We're kind of being chilling, so we're just going to summon Crowley, search out 3 cards, our opponent gives us 1, and activate Spellbook of Secrets, because why not? Search out a card, another Spellbook of Knowledge, got some cards in our graveyard, pass turn. Not the greatest end board, but it is fairly good. And I think this was during the event, our opponent's playing, I don't know, he's playing a strange deck. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to use Eternal Soul, special summon Dark Magician from our graveyard. Dark Magician Circle activates, which can banish a card on the field, and then we're going to tribute it, our Dark Magician, to add back Magician's Rod from a graveyard to your hand. A little confusing, but it's pretty simple. You can't really mess up there, unless with Dark Magician Circle you target the wrong thing. But yeah, Magician Soul, again, send Dark Magician Girl. Now our engine's alive. We have both Dark Magician Girl in our graveyard or on our field. So we can special summon the other one using the field spell. Normal summon Magician's Rod, search out the quick play thing. I just added a Kuriboh because why not? Another good thing with the spellbooks in this deck is that since you can just put cards on the top of your deck, if you draw a spellbook card that you don't want, just put it in the top of your deck. You can search it out anyways with Crowley. So yeah, we're going to end the game with that really cool animation. And let's go to the third replay. Okay, this is the third replay. Our opponent has the nice 10th anniversary, first anniversary playmat. We're going to normal summon Magician Rod since we already have a circle. I misplayed. So what I should have did, like I was talking about earlier, is activate Magician's Circle first. The reason is so that we could have Magician's Salvation in our deck. We have a higher chance of hitting a Dark Magician card because we don't hit anything and we don't get a single card to our hand. So you can misplay if you don't activate things correctly. You should always use Dark Magician Circle first if you can, because you have a higher chance to hit a card. You can still hit nothing, but having better odds it's better. It's literally just better. So Dark Magician, we're going to special summon it. We're going to use the Quick Play Fusion, and again, I misplayed. What I should have did was I should have held on to the ritual monster I had and then used it right now so that I can proc the draw. So there are misplays here, but I'm talking about it so, you know, you can be aware of where you can improve as well. So it's our opponent's turn. He's playing Blue Eyes, and this was, I think, during the event, and he's playing OG Blue Eyes. So this isn't going to be like with him summoning Jet Dragon and all that. I don't think he pulled any of those cards in his opening hand or whatever. Eternal Soul, we're going to special summon. I'm going to speed this up because it's pretty basic. Eternal Soul, special summon, Circle, banish, and then we use Magician's Rod in our graveyard, add back to hand, and then tribute our Dark Magician. Our opponent's just going to do that. And I mean, I feel kind of bad because, I mean, at this time we were running 2 of the Kuribohs. So I can talk about this. The reason you don't want to run 2 Kuribohs is because you really only want to use this effect once, and you can only use it once, and he always comes back. So it's kind of like one copy is just useless. So this is a dead card in our hand, one of them. Could have been any other card. Also, we searched out Magician's Combination. I want to talk about this too. I think Magician's Combination is actually a genuinely good card. The only problem is that it's only good if we have a Dark Magician Girl in our graveyard. That way we can actually use its effect, negate stuff. Yeah, I should have took out the Magikuriboh for a card that can get Dark Magician Girl in the graveyard. That way we can actually trigger things. I did that in the current deck build, but this was an older one. Besides that, we're just going to use Eternal Soul, special summon Dark Magician from our graveyard, get a free banish with Dark Magician Circle, and that's all she wrote. Unless I just end my turn because I want to see what my opponent can do. Oh, excuse me, that was during my opponent's turn. Yeah, I forgot. Dark Magicians, you play during your opponent's turn. My bad. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you like this. I know our opponent didn't make really big boards, but I just wanted to show you that, yeah, this is a pretty fun deck. I think it's pretty good. I like it a lot, honestly. And yeah, I'll be trying to make the expensive version if you want to see that. but that's coming in the future. Besides that, I might make a pure structure deck cheaper version if people don't own the spell books and all the bundle cards. But yeah, I hope you have a great day or night. Hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe I'll catch you next time. See ya. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe. You can check out all the new content I'm going to be making. But besides that, hope you have a great day. See ya.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.